Gosh, making this video makes me feel like I want a Christmas beer. Hey, welcome to Managing Expectations. My name is Victor and I'm an American living here in Stockholm, and this channel is for folks like me who live in the city and like to go to events and activities, but often ask themselves, is this event worth my time? And today I'm going to be talking about the Christmas market that just opened at Gamla in Stockholm. And to answer that question, I have three criteria. The first criteria is there something uniquely Swedish to this event? The second is to have something that I would want to buy or something that I enjoy, like food or some sort of gift. And was the overall environment or atmosphere enjoyable? Now, I usually do a brass tacks section, but this time I'm going to also do a kind of history or a short history about Gamla, and I'll tell you more about that in the video. But firstly, this Christmas market is open between November 23rd and December 23rd. It's at Stortorget, which is in the heart of Gamla, and you can get there by the tunnelbana at Kungsgården or Gamla. And since you're probably going to go there by foot, I recommend avoiding Tiskabrinken, which is the street that is just front of the German church, as that street, particularly when it gets cold and it's icy, can be really difficult to walk up given how steep it is. But overall, this event is outside, so I think if you're going to this particular Christmas market, I do recommend dressing to be outside, warm shoes, gloves, everything kind of that's typical. The Christmas market is quite small with only 40 stalls or small cottages, which means it's quite cozy, and I'll get to that in a few minutes, but overall it is a small Christmas market. There is no kind of covering or heat lamp, so if this is your first time that you are going to this Christmas market, or if you just moved to Stockholm, just know you're going to want to dress as you normally would to be outside for a while, because it is going to be cold, particularly if it starts to rain or snow or it's particularly windy. The only place that you can kind of have some warmth is if you go into the one of the restaurants, or if you go into the Nobel Prize Museum, which is housed within the Svenska Akademin, which is a beautiful building that looks over Gamla. Another piece of information is that this event does not serve alcohol, so if you're expecting that, definitely just know that you won't be getting alcohol at this event, which if you're from the Morales in Europe that serves alcohol at Christmas markets, you're not going to have that here. So I want to give you a bit of information about the Christmas market itself. The Christmas market has been going on since the Middle Ages or medieval times, so you definitely feel that when you're standing in Stortorget by looking at all the buildings that surround the actual Christmas market. It's really beautiful. And I think what's really interesting about this Christmas market is that while it has become the Christmas market that it is really in the 1800s, its history in terms of this Christmas market and this square in particular being kind of the center for trade within Sweden, or certainly within Stockholm, as Gamla was Stockholm at that time. So kings and just everyone fighting to actually do trade there. So I think it's a really fun history for this particular Christmas market. And I'll put a small excerpt to a piece of online research I found on the Christmas market. So let's talk about how you can manage expectations. So firstly, this is a super cozy Christmas market. It only has 40 stalls. Stortorget is not a massive square, so really when you arrive, it feels really cozy to be around all these different people who are all look really, in many ways, in the Christmas spirit. So I found that this particular Christmas market is unique because of its position, but also, as I mentioned earlier, is really baked into the Swedish history. And I think it's a really great place to be if you have maybe going on a walking tour. So if you do go on a walking tour, you might want to consider ending at the Christmas market or starting from the Christmas market, or if you're going to go for dinner somewhere nearby, maybe come and get a hot chocolate or a glögg or something at the market if you're going to be in Gamla at this time of the year. I can highly recommend. The other tip I have for you is that this Christmas market really focuses on high quality products, and that might be clothing or accessories. That might actually be food products like cheeses and meats and other sort of canned products or jarred products. But it is also some really nice kind of typical Swedish sausages and korv, as they call it here, that you could buy. So if you're going to be shopping, which I highly recommend, make sure to take some time to look at the products, maybe ask the folks who work there some questions about the product. As an American, I'm gifted with the gift of jab, so I don't have an issue with talking to strangers or talking to people in general. So definitely ask them some questions. There's probably someone standing next to you that has the same question, but also be mindful, these folks who are working there are there to make money. They probably paid a lot to have a stall there. So don't take up too much time because there's probably someone who wants to buy something. But overall, take some time, ask some questions. And if you are buying food, I have two more tips for you. The first is, if you're new to Sweden and you haven't learned much Swedish yet and you want a hot dog, you're going to get a list of a bunch of different hot dogs, and there's 3 on the list that you might be a little confusing. The first is if it is a kokt, or a sausage that is being cooked in a broth, a stekt, which is basically any sausage that comes into contact with a grill or a piece of metal. And there's also the French hot dog, which is a baguette with a hole in the middle that the sausage goes in, which I've observed is pretty popular amongst the kids. So if you just moved here, or if you happen to be visiting Stockholm at this time, don't get confused with the list. Just ask someone and they'll explain to you what those different sausages mean. But I highly recommend it. They're very tasty. And if you're going to be getting glögg, I always like to remind people to make sure you don't forget your piece of gingerbread. I can't tell you how many gingerbreads I left at the table because I didn't know that the gingerbread is included in the cost of the mulled wine. And Swedish glögg is very similar to glühwein or any sort of mulled wine that you might see in a Christmas market in continental Europe. So just FYI. And lastly, I think the Christmas market is not as maybe communal as Christmas markets in the rest of Europe. If you're watching this video and you live in Stockholm, but you're from Germany or the Czech Republic or Poland or maybe even the Netherlands, Christmas markets there tend to have a lot of seating, or in Germany, in my experience, there's even tents where you can pay a deposit for a mug and buy glühwein and maybe add a little bit of whiskey or some sort of other spirit into that and really enjoy yourself while actually with your friends in this environment that is this big Christmas market. And there sometimes might even be an entrance fee. There's certainly no entrance fee for this Christmas market, and it does not have any kind of long tables or tables that you can sit at. There are a few small tables kind of throughout the market, but it's really just for having your saffron bun or your glögg or your korv. So if you're coming to this Christmas market and you're expecting to sit down, have a big meal, have a drink, this is definitely not how it's done at this particular Christmas market. Maybe there is in other parts of Sweden, but in my experience, that's definitely not going to be the case here. And also that there is no alcohol, so be mindful of that if you are a group of friends who want to go for a drink. Maybe plan this before or after your drink, because you won't get that at the Christmas market. So, do I think this is worth your time? Absolutely. I think there are so many things about this Christmas market, besides its history that is very Swedish, from the color of the cottages to the products that they're selling. It really does ooze Swedishness. And given that the Christmas market has its roots in really being a Christmas market for high quality products, I can definitely say, having gone to a few different Christmas markets in Sweden, that this one certainly has products that I look forward to buying every year, whether it's stuff I know it's going to be there or new things. And certainly the atmosphere of this Christmas market, being in such a historical square, really does add to the atmosphere and makes it feel really cozy. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video. Like and subscribe, drop a comment if you think that there is another Christmas market I should go to, or if you have your own experience at being at this Christmas market.